Good morning. It's kind of been a lot. So today we're working on brand new projects, which I'm like super excited about. A lot kind of like processing. I got all my mural, like for the most part, I got a lot of my mural stuff in. So I have like drop cloths and like mural palettes and things like that because my, what's it called? My students are in my art and diversity club are supposed to be doing murals, but we haven't gotten the supplies yet, so at least gives me an up for next year, or if I'm working on murals during the summer, or even if I'm just painting. So I have like a ton of things to work with, which I'm super excited about. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to get everybody's things ready. Today my middle schoolers, we're gonna go over this morning emphasis, so I have their worksheets and things set out. So I'm really excited to kind of get everything set up. It is probably going to be a little bit because we have a lot of projects to kind of catch up on in a sense. We are a couple learning periods behind, which don't know what a learning period is for my school. It's like a module that we do over the month. So we're a couple topics behind in middle school, so I'm kind of trying to like reel everybody back in. And I'm still planning and doing things for the rest of the year, so I'm trying to come up with projects and like make sure it's on Google Classroom. So a lot to do, very little time to do it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So excited. This is one of my students' cardboard projects. They made a gum packet with little with little gum pieces that you can take out. I love it so much. It's so funny. They're so cute. And then over here, one of my students made ramen. She said she didn't want to paint the chicken on the packet because it looked too scary to paint. So she left the bottom blank but painted the top like a little ramen. So this isn't fully completed yet. He's still going to work on it for a little longer, but the poor little sponge guy, he's so sad. Poor thing. And then we only have one of our angel wings done. I need more feathers for that one, so I'm going to have the kids work on it a little longer. But it looks pretty good so far. Alright, so I'm going to kind of go over my process on how I basically go about ordering school supplies for my students. So one of the biggest things for art is making sure you're ordering supplies, obviously. So the vendor that I use for my school that we are catered to is NASCO. So NASCO has basically like everything we need and what we're looking for. So basically what I would do, I would type like things like, for example, brushes, and I get like a whole like plethora of things that I'm looking for, so I can kind of like scroll and figure things out. I prefer like these blue brush packs because it comes with containers to store things, and it also gives you like a whole different idea of it. Oops. Fail on my end. So what we do is we kind of look for example, if I want like a rasp brush, I would go ahead, and this is what I do because this is our process in the school, is I would just kind of take this and the product number and the price, and I would put that all on a sheet because we have like order form sheets, and then I would have to calculate how much I need. So I'll put the number of quantities. So if I need like 20 of these like specific brushes, I would put 20 and then do the math physically to figure out how much it would be total. So it's kind of how my school runs when we do things like order forms. We just kind of go about it that way. I honestly am not the person who runs with the blah. I'm not the person who runs through budget. So I'm just told to put things on an order form, and then we shall see what kind of goes in there. But I am a little bit more I try to be a little bit more economical when it comes to that, just in case, so that way I'm still able to get the supplies I need. What I also like to do when I'm thinking about what I need to order for supplies is basically kind of what I know the kids use. And this kind of just takes some trial and error sometimes. Like, I know for sure that my kids always use acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is something that they're just like obsessed with. One, it's easier, one, it's more familiar, and it's kind of more catered to what their needs are and what they like. The next is like watercolor, or like I know they need new brushes, so I might order a pack of brushes. So I kind of like go around the room and see what exactly we're looking at and what exactly we need. So that's always going to be number one when you're ordering things, is always take a second to think, okay, so what is it that these kids are going to want in there, like to use if you have like free art or if you have specific projects in mind. Also, like plan out in a sense what your projects are or what you think you know they'll use, because your projects might change depending on what you guys are doing. Like things always change, but always be prepared, because you know, just in case. Like for me, when I teach sculpture, I always want to make sure I have clay, or I have clay tools, making sure I have paint, I have beads, or like some type of mixed media work, like either brown paper bags or cardboard tubes or things like that, just in case you want to change your idea and you already have it, so you don't have to worry about trying to scavenge around trying to find your supplies. So those are going to be something that is really, really great to have. I'm going to do kind of like a really fun like haul when I get my supplies in, because it's going to be like Christmas Day. Usually that's going to be when it's like classroom setup day. So there's a couple changes. I'm teaching pottery and sculpture next year, most likely. I say most likely because that is the plan and that's what I've been approved of. So unless things go a little bit sour, then that's what we're going to have for next year. Excuse me. So just when you're ordering your supplies, just kind of process. And I like to make a physical hand list, just because I'm extra and I like to write it, because if I write it, I see things. A lot of people do that, where you just hand write it out, like at least the general of what you're like, I need Sharpies, I need this, like at least throughout the course of the year of what things you're gonna need, or even before the semester, so that way it can get ordered in time. And then you just go through it. Like I said, NASCO is probably one of the best providers that I like. I've used a couple other ones, but NASCO is just purely art education and like science and agriculture. So they're very knowledgeable of the supplies that kids like, and you know, that teachers and art educators like. So hopefully that's a couple good tips of advice. So I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, so this is the first example that we're going to start working on tomorrow. I sketched it out. I'm going to go home and finish painting it, so we have like a physical example. This is one of the emphasis ones, so the first one we're going to do is like a dragon eye. So this is going to be like our first one. It's really, really light because I just went over with it with the kneadable eraser, Tabitha work. And then for the second part of the month, our LP, we're going to do Georgia O'Keeffe cow skulls. So I have most of it done. I just need to add the yarn on the bottom to make it look like little tassels. I was going to do it with these little dots, but then it did not work out well. So square one. So I have the Georgia O'Keeffe example here. I just did mine in marker, but the kids are probably going to do theirs, and well, I can do it in marker or watercolor. So we have those two examples today. The room is a disaster, so I'm cleaning. Like, I need to find places for all these new projects that have been given to me, and I just want to clean the couch so the kids can finally sit on it. Like, I'm sick and tired of looking at it. I want to start hanging things up and getting things tossed that needs to get tossed. So it's going to be a long process. So today the kids are pretty good. The only issues that I had are just kind of like, I do have like kids in my classes, like 3 classes in a row. They get fatigued really, really quick. So it's kind of hard to get them back into their focus. They are supposed to have an in-between break, but sometimes the kids just don't want to do it. You know, they just want to stay and just like take a minute to finish, and usually that minute turns into their whole like 10-15 minute break. So I have to kind of find a way to get them like back into the mindset, especially since it's a lot of information at once the first week of school. I like to do all of our lessons then, so that's going to be a thing. So we're just processing through that. What I'm gonna do for like the last like few minutes of that I'm here, because I'm here till 4:30, I made labels for the projects and things that we are going to do. for the learning period. And I'm going to hang them on the little bulletin board, so that way for each lesson or each learning period I can have the full actual project up so they can go and look at it. So that's going to be my first thing to do. I need to make a board for my sculpture. I'm thinking I'm just going to take most of this down and put all my sculpture stuff on the background of this. Not sure what I'm going to do because I don't have very much bulletin board space left, so thinking about doing that. That way kids have more of a visual of what's going on throughout the year, and I can have like a physical visual board, so if a sub is here they know what the outcome should look like or similar to it for next year. It's not going to be really applied this year because of what I didn't do this year, so that's going to be a thing. Anyways, before I keep ranting with Allie, you're gonna have a lot of fun editing this. Before I keep ranting, I'm just gonna go ahead and get all this done. I'm sick and tired of the mess. It's driving me crazy, and my OCD's like, I can't focus. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start cleaning and putting things up. Good morning. So another day. Lot to do, but I will show you what I got done last night since my battery died. So let's get to it. All right, I'm out of breath because I had to run like 5 places because I forgot things in my car, but I finished this last night. We're going to start this week on Wednesday and Thursday, but we're focusing on emphasis. So our first project is going to be this cool dragon eye. I think it's really simple, really easy. Mine is a little sparkly. I don't know if you can see it on the thing because I added pearlescence watercolor to mine. But this will be something that me and the kids do together. I think they'll really love it and it'll look really cool and super cute. So I'm so excited to kind of get this done. And then after we finish the dragon eye, we're going to do a Georgia O'Keeffe style cow skull. Also inspired by like Native American type of tribal design pattern, so I just kind of want to get into culture a little bit and diversity with the cute little tassels. I have to bring the little yarn, but this isn't going to be till the end of the month, so this will be like the last few weeks of school. Mine smells really good because I use scented marker, but the kids are probably going to use like watercolor or something, and I think this is super cute. I absolutely love it. So the whole plan is for next year, for each lesson I'll have like a mini example of all of our projects, so they can look at it for the whole year of what we're going to do and be prepared. So I'm going to put all the rest of them on these boards, and then I think what I'm going to do, because I have a sculpture class, I only have one bulletin board left, and it's technically this one. This was like a filler space, and I did it like this for COVID, so that way they can feel a little bit more inspired when we were doing online classes. So I think I can finally take all of this down and like put them in different places and use this as my sculpture board. And then next year what I'll do is I'll rearrange it to where it's kind of fits places a little bit better, especially with my little Promethean board, and try to get everything handled. So yeah, my painting class is doing skin colors, so they're painting giraffes. And look how cute this little guy is. And another one of my painting students has been getting so much better. She's just totally done with this piece, but I'm so happy with the progress she has made. She's been doing such a beautiful job with her piece. This is one of my college pieces, but my drawing class is doing self-portraits, and they're drawing their self-portraits. So this is one of the first ones I did. I don't really draw very often, so I decided to put one of my terrible ones up to give them inspiration, to be like, I can do it too. If Miss Conner can make bad art, mine will look better. That's the goal, to inspire them to do better than